What's going on, YouTube? Back at it again. Saturday workout. It is the 5x5 deadlift. Hope everyone had a good week. Hope you got a bunch of good lifts in. I'm feeling pretty good. This was a good lift for me. My deadlift form is all messed up. I don't know what's going on. I had this problem when I originally started deadlifting a couple of years ago. I had never really done any type of heavy deadlifts. Kind of the hips were raising, or I guess the knees were extending before the hips, and looks like I'm back into that pattern. Breaking that is easier said than done. I did a little bit of glute activation here on the GHD, just trying to wake up the core, wake up the glutes and hamstrings before I got into some lifting. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, and maybe this has just been my deadlift all this time, and I never noticed it, or no one ever called me out on it. I've never really recorded myself deadlifting, so I don't know. Maybe this has just been my deadlift. Yeah, here with the lighter weight, it's not terrible. It's still very distinct two movements as opposed to the knees and the hips working and extending at the same time. You can clearly see a knees hips pattern here. My shins aren't vertical at the start. I know all of the required steps to begin and to carry out the deadlift, and for whatever reason, I am not having an easy time getting into it. Yeah, as I get heavier, I notice my weight shifting forward, the bar swinging away from me. I don't know. Obviously I'm not watching these videos in live time while I'm lifting, so it's probably something I should do. I should be checking in more while I'm lifting, so I can try to correct it in the moment, as opposed to watching it after the fact and then going back and being like, oh geez, well I guess I did that whole session with terrible form. On a good note, there isn't any rounding of the low back. I feel fine. I feel strong, but I'm not getting into a good wedge position. I'm not using any type of mechanical advantage. I'm kind of taking my I'm taking my glutes and hamstrings out of the equation early, and it's not the most advantageous position to generate the most force and to lift the strongest weight or the most weight. So I don't know. I worked up to 315 for sets of 5. I got up to 335, and then I have some type of cyst at the base of my left thumb. I was actually out drinking with some doctors a month ago, and they said that this cyst might actually not be a cyst. It might be a bone spur of some sort. I don't know, but it was really bothering me on my last five reps at 335. So I only did 4, and then I came back and just did 1 just to say I did the 5. But whatever, deadlifts felt okay. It's still not looking great. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to try to figure it out. Experimented with these. So again, let's talk about this first. So these are supposedly the original hack squat. Now they're supposed to be performed from the ground, but I don't have. They're supposed to be performed from the ground, taken off a higher plate. I can't do a 45 on this movement. This is a very difficult movement. So I'm taking it from the rack. All right. So it's the original George Hackenschmidt hack squat variation. You stay on your toes the whole time. You kind of hoist the weight up, sit it on top of your butt, and bend forward. It's putting a ton of pressure on the quads and on the knees, which I like. And you finish the movement at the very top. You're still up on your toes. So it was fun. I really like this. I really look forward to working this in on my high rep quad days. So right now the game plan is on the first leg day of the week. It's a 5x5 back squat with high repetition stiff leg deadlifts. So I'm doing 3 sets of 15 high rep deadlifts, or high rep stiff leg deadlifts on my heavy squat day. And then on the second leg day of the week, it's high repetition quad work with a 5x5 back squat, 5x5 deadlift. So that is the game plan. So this was my high repetition quad work this week, and it's going to be that way for a while. I like this. My quads were sore immediately after. I think it's a very strange movement. You know, it's very rare that you do any type of squatting movement where you're totally bent forward like this, but apparently that is how it's done, and it's just putting as much load as possible on the quads. And I mean that my body loves squatting on the toes. That's my whole thing. If my body could do everything like that, it would. So I really like this. I feel like I'm going to get some good quad growth out of it. So we're going to keep working at it. I forget where I saw it online. The guy's Instagram is Range of Strength. He's super cool. Has a really good page. Check it out. And there are a bunch. He does a bunch of like classic lifting, like strongman from like the 50s, 60s types of lifts, and that's where I saw that version of the hack squat. But yeah, you guys check it out. It's pretty cool. I don't recommend it if you have any type of knee problems going on. It does put a lot of pressure on the knees, but if your knees are healthy and whatnot, ease into it, use lighter weight, but kind of that knee over toe, drive the knees out, really put the stress on the quads and the quad tendons. It's healthy for the knees in the long run. So as long as your knees feel good and you're not experiencing any pain during that movement, I would definitely give it a shot. Got back into the Nordic Curls today. I don't think I've done these in a week or two, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. I felt like I was getting pretty far down there before I had to bail. My angle has definitely improved from the first couple times I've done this. I mean, maybe 3, 4, 5 degrees. Let's say 5 degrees or so more. I'll take it. This is a brand new movement for me, but I really felt the hamstrings pulling as hard as they could. It's just your brain won't let you, or at least my brain won't let me take too much of that before it sends out that kind of red flag signal, like bail out. We're gonna tear. But yeah, it felt good. I only hit those on Saturdays now, or my deadlift day, which is typically on Saturday morning. But I've been working at it. We've been staying consistent. I don't know how many weeks this is. I think we're on 2 months of this backyard workout situation now. So yeah, I'll keep working them in. Got some hanging knee raises in. Again, the form looks funky because my feet hit the ground because the bar's not tall enough. But whatever, we're making it work. I hit some straight ons and then did some oblique crunches. If you guys haven't played around with these, it's a good thing to throw in every once in a while. It's just kind of it's an interesting movement. It kind of ties the lats, the serratus, the obliques, some of the hip flexor, just kind of ties a little bit of the QL, kind of ties all that stuff together for an interesting, synergistic contraction. But yeah, that's it for the week. Got a bunch of yard work to do out here in the desert at my house up in the high desert. It's going to be a balmy 110 at least, and I got a whole ton of yard work to do. So we're going to keep this sweat going, get up there, and get the yard cleaned up. I will see you guys next week. Peace.